Oh, how we get wrapped up in the greeting cards and the flower giving. I have to admit, I found something that I think will last longer than flowers that I sent my mother. I found a jewelry store that actually takes live roses and dips them in gold. And sent that to her. And then I called her and I said, don't throw this rose out. I'll come read through your trash can if you do, you know. It's just, I mean, we want to do something special for moms. I want to thank Pam and Daryl for turning me on to this video. I just thought I would show this and we'll chat a little bit about its context in just a minute.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry. 2 minutes. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Sorry about that.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Have you ever done one of these interviews over the camera before?
No.
Let me tell you a little bit about the job to get started with. It's not just a job, it's sort of probably the most important job. The title that we have going right now is Director of Operations, but it's really kind of so much more than that. Responsibilities and requirements are really quite extensive. First category for the requirements would be mobility. This job requires that you must be able to work standing up most or really all of the time, constantly on your feet, constantly bending over, constantly exerting yourself, a high level of stamina.
Okay.
That's a lot. For how many hours?
135 hours to unlimited hours a week. It's basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I'm sure you'll have a change from time to time to maybe just sit down here and there, yeah?
You mean like a break?
Yeah.
No, there are no breaks available.
Is that even legal?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So like no lunch?
You can have lunch, but only when the associate is done eating their lunch.
I think that's a little intense.
No.
No.
That's crazy.
Now, this position requires excellent negotiation and interpersonal skill. We're really looking for someone that might have a degree in medicine, in finance, and the culinary arts. You must be able to wear several hats. Associate needs constant attention. Sometimes they have to stay up with an associate throughout the night. Being able to work in a chaotic environment, if you had a life, we'd ask you to sort of give that life up. No vacations. In fact, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and holidays, the workload is going to go up, and we demand that with a happy disposition.
That's almost cruel. That's almost a very, very sick, twisted joke.
But when there's time to sleep or...
Oh, no time to sleep.
Yeah, all-encompassing almost.
That's exactly right.
365 days a year?
Yes.
No, that's inhumane.
That's very insane.
The meaningful connections that you make and the feeling that you get from really helping your associate are immeasurable. Also, let's cover the salary. The position is going to pay absolutely nothing.
Excuse me?
No, I can do that for free.
Yeah, pro bono, completely for free.
No.
What if I told you there's someone that actually currently holds this position right now? Billions of people, actually.
Who?
Moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, moms.
That's awesome.
And they meet every requirement, don't they?
Oh my god. Moms are the best.
Yeah, there's no pay. They're 24 hours. They're always there.
Now I'm thinking about my mom.
Yeah, what are you thinking about her?
I'm thinking about all those nights and everything.
Thank you so much for everything you do. I know it doesn't seem like I appreciate all of it, but I definitely do.
So, Mom, I want to say thank you for everything that you've done. I love you very much. You've been there through thick and thin. My mom is just awesome. She's awesome.
There is one thing that I know for sure. That all of us fall in two categories. Number one, you are a mom. Or number two, you have had a mom. Right? I mean, at least the latter one is a given. I so want to write down some of those things and put it in a note and send it to my mom. I love that. And the pay? Absolutely nothing. The wisest man in the world put it this way. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs with no fear of the future. And when she speaks, her words are wise. And kindness is the rule when she gives instruction. She carefully watches all that goes into her household and does not have to bear the consequences of laziness. Her children stand up and bless her. Her husband will praise her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive. Beauty does not last. But a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. I guess I was inspired a couple weeks ago when you all took the opportunity to say things about me. And as I read this passage this week, I thought, all right, most of us don't have the opportunity of having mom sitting here beside us, either because she doesn't attend this church or that she has passed away. But it never hurts to remind us of mom and the characteristics that moms have that we want to remember. Now, I think of some this week. I don't know, it seems as though that I had 2 or 3 situations where I was reminded of the job that Carolyn does in working with families and their placement and foster care and so forth and so on. And then thinking of the Bakers, they are grandparents of 2 little boys that their daughter and her partner were able to adopt last week. And Teresa got to be there. Oh, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for that one. And these 2 little boys, they're priceless. But someone stepped up and said, you know, these kids deserve better. Whether it's mom's in jail or mom's hooked on drugs or mom's just can't do it, they give their child up, which when it's done voluntarily is an amazing thing. I cannot even begin to fathom what that must be like. But then for someone to step in who is not flesh and blood and say, I will love this child as my own, is an amazing, amazing situation. Now, I guess maybe even after 20 years, I don't know about the adoption or the birth status of many of you. I mean, I can figure it, but I don't know 100%. But yet, we are all influenced by these people in our lives. So I want you to take a moment, whether your mom is here or whether your mother-in-law is here, or whether or not your mom has passed, for you to just take a moment and pay tribute to Mom. And if by paying tribute to Mom you joke about it and laugh about it, that's okay. I mean, if you sit there and tell a story about Mom, I'm good with that. But a lot of times, we don't hear stories told about people. We don't hear funny things told about people in public until they're dead. And then during the prayer service, we all tell stories about, oh, well, I remember when this. We got to stop that. Solomon said we need to pay tribute. Jesus said that we're drawn together to be one. And there's no better way to be drawn together as one than to pay tribute and respect to the person who is right there. So, now's your time. Now's your time to talk about Mom in your own life. So, I'm going to open it up. I don't know if the other mic is working, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to open it up and just let you tell something, say something to Mom, say something about Mom, and just pay recognition to moms.
My mother was a school teacher.
Okay?
And she retired in 1975 when she was 65, which is quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
She went to heaven in 1991. To this very day, people come up to me and say how wonderful she was. She was very faithful.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thanks, Jess. Someone else? Please.
My mother was a wonderful mother, for being orphaned, I could say, when she was just before school age. Her mother passed away and her dad was an alcoholic, so so she got shifted here, there, and everywhere for whoever could take her and care for her. Financially was a big problem back then too, but she didn't know what her mother really was, but she knew how to mother, and she was a wonderful mother.
Mm. Okay. Thanks.
I have to say, Mom was kind. She helped keep me over some rough spots. His dad was kind as she was.
Oh, come on now.
Good. Thanks. Doug?
Glad she's not here to hear this. I was just going to comment about your mom. I really was. I really was. Well, you can't after I'm done, I guess. No, I love the stories. I love my mom, and she was a great mom. She is a great mom. But I really appreciate, in my opinion, her lack of sympathy, her toughness.
No, wait a minute. I want to make sure. Did you hear that? Her lack of sympathy. I just want to make sure that you heard it right. Okay, go ahead. Obviously, there's an
Some
explanation.
things happen like through all the broken bones, the straight knees, the cuts, the deaths in the family, whatever that may come about. My mom was always the one that she was tough. And she was kind of like big boys don't cry. And so she demanded toughness out of us. And I really appreciate that because it's really helped me a lot throughout life. So, I mean, she's a typical mom, but she wasn't that mom that was, she didn't hover over you. She didn't kiss the boo-boo. She didn't, she was suck it up, you're fine. The broken bone 2 days later, yeah, we found out or something like that. But that's just how she was. I do appreciate that. So, there's another lady and I love being around her.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah, Grandma's fun too. When I was like 10 years old, we always used to go to movies, so I saw the movie Dodgeball in theaters with my grandma, which was rated PG-13. It's probably not like the worst movie ever, but there's probably a lot of jokes that weren't appropriate. But that was pretty fun. But my mom is here, and she's pretty much willing to do whatever to help me, whether I got sick at school and she picked up and drove 4.5 hours across the state, or I go out with some friends and get home late at night and she'll help me get into bed, or if I'm in Connecticut and I can call her with some emergency if 3 in the morning or whatever, she picks up the phone and talks to me, so I appreciate that.
Alright. Yeah, Rachel, go ahead.
My mom is right here. So, I don't know, you know, a girl needs her mom, you know. When you're young, you have, you know, issues at school or friends or whatever, like you can talk to her. But then when you get older, it's a different kind of thing. It's about adulting. I don't want to adult today. Mom, tell me what to do, you know? It's really nice to just be able to call her up and say, like, I love you, or this is happening, what do I do, or just vent about work or life in general. So I just want to say thank you. And also, I did have another mom. She is not with us anymore, but Kitty Jo was pretty much the best aunt / mother ever. People used to call me her mini-me, and I took it as a compliment. Would have been, you know, the comments about, oh, you're too nice, or you're just like Kimmy, she's so nice. Oh, thank you. You know, but yeah. So my grandma Lynn is amazing and awesome. My grandma Kathy in heaven, she was always super fun and always had a joke or a quip and had these cute little sayings like gag me with the spoon. So funny. She just, like all the moms, grandmas, great grandmas in my life, I think really shaped aunts, really shaped who I am today. So just want to say thank you.
Thanks. Others? Yeah, Carolyn.
Even though my mom is not with me today, a lot of that is because she is such a giving person and insisted on being there for her mom today, even though her mother's health is declining and it's harder and harder for her to visit her mother. She wanted to make sure that she was there for her today. And she's just a phone call away. Monday was a difficult day. All I had to do was tell her I was going to have a difficult week, and I could feel her prayers right away.
Thanks. I could probably tell 100 stories, as we all could, about moms. I kept remembering that Mom would say how important the family was, how important that family unit was in our lives. She would love to tell me, you're going to have a lot of friends in your life, but you're only going to have one brother. I didn't appreciate that too many times because I didn't appreciate what he was doing. You know, my parents had the logic, it was Rich more, Andy more, and no more. But there was something about it, it was just, I knew that she was there. You know, when I would have those tough times, you know, it was, yep, I can relate, like, you know, traveling and taking care of things when things were bad, and then other times it's just, it was that advice, it was just, well, what are you going to do about it? But you're supposed to tell me what to do. What are you going to do about it? You know? And so there were times that were just so crucial to my maturing that I have to go back to my mother. You know, the whole idea of, you know, let's, you know, you got to get along. And that's what Jesus was talking about in the gospel text. And you know, I have a great relationship with you, God. And I want that relationship to be the relationship that I have with my disciples, with those who follow me. And I want that relationship that I have with you for them to have with you. There's some of us that have such a good relationship with mom, and then we see those kids that moms are just totally absentee for one reason or another. You know, I always thought the toughest job in the world was being a parent. I'm beginning to realize that the toughest job now in life is being a single parent. And a lot of times that's the mom. And mom trying to juggle everything. And then when I see this video, it's like, okay. You know, it's a great reminder that, you know, mom's there. Sometimes with those words like, suck it up. And other times it's there like, okay, let's talk. Jesus desired that same type of relationship for us. I sense from reading the gospel passage, it was the relationship that we could have with God and that we could have with each other. Are there times when we go through things and you call somebody or you see somebody and how are things going? And sometimes you need somebody to just say, we'll talk about it. Let's see where's going on and everything. And other times you just need to say, well, you know, toughen up. Put your big girl pants on. Right? But you know that there is, in the midst of it all, there is one thing that is common. There is that love and that respect that we know that we get from people that support us. And for many of us, that first person that we ever saw that from was mom. Now, for those of you who have the privilege of having mom still alive, if you haven't talked to her lately, pick the phone up and call her. Because I promise you that there will be a Mother's Day that will come, maybe not too distant in the future, where you won't be able to pick up the phone and call her. And you will drive down the road and you say, man, I'm having a tough day. I think I'm going to call mom. Oh, shoot. I can't. Call her. Talk to her. Just tell her you love her. You know, things may be good, things may be bad. I don't know that's how things are right now with you and mom, if she's still alive. But do it. Because you may not have another chance. And if you don't have and if you don't think that's the case, let me refer you to so many people that are sitting here this morning that will never have that chance. That when things are tough, they want to pick up the phone and call somebody. And they really want to call mom, and mom's not there. Because as much as I read the book of Revelation, there is not an issue with cell phones in heaven. You can't call her. And sometimes you wish you could. We need to appreciate what we have. We've got a lot of great things. A lot of great things. We've got people that support us all around us. We have family, we have friends, we have church, we have folks that are here. And that's the way Jesus wanted us to experience our lives. And that's the way that we need to experience our families. Through tough times and through good times. And I pray that we have more good times than tough times. But the tough times make us better, too. I want you to take a moment and just to pray. To give thanks to God for the moms, the grandmas, the aunts, the the women who are not blood relation, but really have taken on that role as mom in their life. Give thanks to God for them, and even mothers-in-law. Let's pray. God, we just give you thanks. We give you thanks for the love that you have shown us through the women in our lives who have taken on the role of a mom. One who keeps us grounded, yet gives us wings to fly. Thank you. God be glorified in the lives of those who mold us and shape us, and have played a dramatic impact in our lives. For them, we give you thanks. In Jesus' name.